Sweet baby doll, today we are drinking fridge water from the lowest shelf on the back left side. All right, darling. We have a fractal here, and I've already made a video saying, warning, warning, avoid all fractals. Yes, avoid them. But in the bear market, fractals you can get away with, because if you're going to be holding spot coins, no leverage, and you're going to be long anyway, it's just a matter of time before you eventually move up. Eventually. If you are trying to do a fractal at the top, you run a lot of risk, because a lot of people will have leverage, you'll have confidence to borrow, maybe you're using a money market, maybe you've got leverage trade, and that's when it's really dangerous, because you're expecting a 30x, maybe it stops at a 6x and then comes back down. So right now we have Bitcoin with the 2015 bear market fractal, and the 2015 bear market is more similar to what's happening today compared to the 2019 one. So if I just quickly show you, in 2019, there was the big flash rally. It was here. We had a big flash rally. I don't think we're getting that this year. We're not. See, we would have went like, woohoo. We're not getting that. It's more like the previous one, 2015. This is when Mount Gox got destroyed, and then everyone was depressed and angry, and then suddenly we have a disbelief rally, and it becomes hope. And you hope that it keeps going, a disbelief again, and then it continues again, right? So this is the bear market we're looking at. This is similar to what's happened. You know, FTX went down, same as Mount Gox, exchanges. It has a similar theme. And because we're going off emotions, this is what we have to kind of look at, right? So right here I have, look at this. I've made this chart for you just to show you, right? This is following the Wall Street cheat sheet. So you're going to have the Wall Street cheat sheet, and you know these emotions right here. We're going to go from hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. You get complacent, and then anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation. Everyone's angry and depressed. Okay, so look at this. In here, you can see how Mount Gox, we had here, the capitulation. Mount Gox liquidating, people just be like, crypto's over, it's a scam. Same thing that's happened 2022. This was Luna collapse here. Luna, UST, Celsius, bang, 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 everything went down. 3AC, everything bad, okay? You can see how that capitulation is the same. Now, next phase. Down here, you have anger, right? It's anger and depression. So you can see anger. People are like, Mount Gox, you were a Ponzi all along. Why? And here, you're angry at everyone, right? It's the same thing here. June, July, everyone's angry at 3AC, angry at Alex Mashinsky for Celsius, angry at all the Bitcoin maxi influencers for telling them to leverage, and angry at Michael Saylor. That's when all the anger came out. And then after a few months, they've calmed down and they realize, I'm poor. And here comes sadness. So we're going to do a sad. This is the depression phase, right? You see the depression was bang. This was FTX right here. That's that part down here. You see down here, FTX went down. Now back in 2015, we didn't live this together. So you can imagine everyone's just, depressed. So this is actually disbelief, okay? This is disbelief. It's crazy, right? Disbelief is you actually start recovering, but you're like, this is not a bull market. This is not a bull market. But this is why disbelief. This is why trading's so hard, friends. If you actually want to buy the bottom of the macro cycle, this is why it's so hard. You see, in this disbelief, it went lower than the anger. Okay, so that's why people look at these cheat sheets and they go, let's look at the top right here. People look at the cheat sheets and they might say, the anger part, the anger here, disbelief goes up. You can see it on the right-hand side. If I move this, you can see it up here. Like, depression, disbelief's supposed to go up. See, you're not meant to use the pattern. You're meant to go off people's emotions. Now, lucky for you, I'm your friend. And if you're a pet duck named Greg, you're my friend as well. And in this together, I can just relay this information to you. It's what I do here. I'm here all day, man. So, disbelief. It's funny. Are we going to see our disbelief go down? We don't know. It can. So yes, even if this happens, if Bitcoin goes down to like 13, 12K, yeah, I'll be more bullish. I'll be more bullish. I don't care. Because it's part of it. This is what can happen. Now, this is why you don't know. If you're waiting for this price point, you can miss everything. So we don't know what's going to happen. Is Bitcoin going to stop at 17, 15, 13, 10K, wreck us all? Or is the Fed going to do bailouts and the market starts pricing in the future? And they're like, you're going to print again, aren't you? And then it's going to do that again. That's what happens. And remember, people learn people have memories, okay? We understand the market cycle. We understand, hey, money printing, QE. You see how the average, all the YouTube influencers, they all talk about money printing more now. Back in 2019, it was like no one was really talking about it. Like we understood it and we talked about it, but we didn't actually see it in action. Because of the zombie virus in 2020, we got to see it in action, baby. And we knew, we're like, aha, as soon as something bad happens, the government comes and saves all the scum, and the evil central bank, Jay Powell, the Federal Reserve, they steal the purchasing power off the lower and middle class to go bail out the rich, friends. It's one big Ponzi game. That's it. It's cool, right? So don't get mad, just get even. Get into the smaller bucket that fills up faster, right? So that's what crypto is. So that's what we might see now. Disbelief is going to go, it's going to stop at some point, and then suddenly we're going to go into the hope. But remember, we're still in disbelief here, right? In the next part, it's still disbelief. Why disbelief? Because no one's going to believe that this is actually the beginning, the actual beginning. That's why no one believed it here, right? No one believed it here. And I was saying, oh my God, it's over. It's over. The depression, we hit peak depression, okay? So I'm going to show you just more examples, right? So I made this funny meme, right? So I can tell you, a lot of people, they're waiting for 10K Bitcoin and Ethereum $400. But I've written here, like, this is the thing, man. Do you have a plan if the US Fed doesn't hike rates in the next meeting? Because, you know, right now, people say 60% chance 25, 40% chance this. Do you have a plan if the banking crisis gets worse and they need to plug a hole and US Fed goes, nah, crap, I've got to hold rates now instead of hike, and we're going to monitor it. Do you have a plan for that? What if the market front runs that? See, this is what you don't know. I'm teaching it to you now. The US 2-year bond can price in the cut, and then the stock market knows what's going on. And then when the stock market moves, guess what? Crypto's moved. We are so thin in liquidity, so we'll go up even more. We won't rocket, but you know, maybe Bitcoin's back to like 21,000, and you won't know what's going on, and you're like, oh, the market's like thinking that the Fed's going to hold rates and not hike anymore, and we're going to begin the next phase. You see what I mean? So, by the way, it's still possible. We just go straight to zero and they don't save anything. But you can see how through this weekend, eventually, like you could see how, because we live in a very fast digital information age, it travels so quick. Like it's all over the news already. Contagion, bank contagion, get your money out, bank run, bank run. It's all on everyone's words, on the tip of everyone's tongue, right? So, I mentioned here as well, right? So are you even prepared? What if there's an emergency stimulus meeting to plug the bank contagion? What if that happens, man? What if that now we know eventually the problem is going to happen again. But what if that's just enough to buy it enough time for 3 months? The crypto market gets bored. Like what if this plugs the hole for 30, 60, 90 days? It gives us enough time to go up, you know? Then you're praying for more collapses. But what if the collapse comes later, right? So I have this funny meme, right? Yeah, dude, we are totally not in disbelief phase. This feels more like the anger to me. So I'm seeing a lot of people do this, and I love it. Because if everybody believed it was the disbelief phase, it wouldn't be the disbelief phase, okay? I'm here to teach you something. So if I just show you that disbelief, right? We're going to look on this right-hand side. If everyone believed in it, okay, we're not going to get this grind up. We need people to think, oh, we're going to go down another leg lower. That's what we want people to think we're in anger, okay? Finally, when the market goes up enough, then people go like, oh, it's disbelief. But you know what happens? It turns into hope. And unfortunately, we get the next leg down. So that's what happens, friends. So if I was just to speculate, right, on Bitcoin, maybe what happens, right? Maybe you get something like, woohoo, like, when we finally go into disbelief, people are like, oh, yes, it's a disbelief rally. Then we might actually just come back down. That's what happens. And everyone says, oh, I told you it's too early. We're nowhere near ready, you know. And that's when actually maybe the real hope one comes. So you see, it's a moving target, friends. It's a moving target. Now, another thing to show you, I'm seeing this all over too. I'm so thankful that I have a strong, growing community. You are here with me. You are my friend. I'm your friend. You're learning. Your wisdom is increasing. We're all sharing this journey together. And I get to help you, one, for free, and two, to give you some morale boost. Because I think a lot of you, man, you've been through some hard times. You've been scarred. So I got scarred, but I was doing the right thing. Managing risk, I still got scarred. But a lot of people were doing the wrong thing and got scarred. So I can show you can win at this game. Okay, I'm here to hold your hand as long as it takes. So, look at this. Toilet paper hands are really funny. Maybe, does this remind you of yourself? A lot of people will like this at the start. So, look at this. They'll make long lists about reasons why you shouldn't be long. They want to sell you on the fear so they feel better. This is totally true. They want to sell you on fear. Everybody's selling something. When people tell you, oh, be safe, get your money out. No. They're selling you on fear. People are either selling you on euphoria or selling you on fear. Okay? Now, staying long and strong. That's the next important part. And of course, friends, right now, I'm having a hot chocolate. That's right. With water fridge, we have our hot chocolates because our slippers are fluffy. That's how we do it. And you're going to see me, right, stay long and strong many times. You have to keep this in your mind. You have to train yourself that the right thing to do is to hold on. Now, whenever I say this, people go find that one chart of something that went down minus 4,000%, and they go, oh, you're stupid. But look, don't be intellectually dishonest here. I'm trying to help you, okay? I'm trying to help you. That's like if you had children and your kid comes home depressed. Maybe you had a daughter, she comes home depressed. Are you going to tell her, oh, yeah, you should give up all the time, you know? Yeah, all those girls calling you ugly, just give up on life. Just give up, yeah. You're not going to win anyway. Okay, just think for yourself, man, please. So, look, when we see this list, I'm going to show you. We're going to read this together. When we see this list evaporate, that's when we're all euphoric. And that's when it gets dangerous. So most people, you're not going to get aware of this, by the way. You won't be aware that the list is actually gone. People are just going to be saying, look at him. He's trying to fight our bags. There's nothing to be worried about. When you see that, it's time to be game over. Now, guess what? We're going to get this right, but we're still going to get screwed in the future. You might turn your portfolio, like today, maybe your portfolio is 10 grand. I hope one day, let's say in 8 years, you're dealing with 1.5 million. You are still going to miss it and have like a minus 50% swing. And it's going to go down to 750K. And you're like, oh my God, I'm theoretically down $750,000 when I used to play with $10,000, right? So you're never going to get this right. So you have to be prepared that you can't get it right. That's why you need balls of steel. And if you're a lady, you need ovaries of steel. You have to. Because you're going to cop the bad turbulence no matter what. There is no one perfect that gets in and out. And guess what? Those people who do, they underperform. They suck. Where are they? They're nowhere. Go find me those 3 people who like ended up making it. I'll show you 14,000 dead bodies behind them. All right. Look at all the richest people you know. How many people do you know by trading? 5? And they're influencers, and you don't even really know their P&L. How many people do you know who are rich by holding? Exactly. There's like 400 or 500. You can see them on the chain, man. You can literally see them. There's so many people who got rich by holding. That's the beautiful part. Verified results. Okay. So look at this from Mr. Irishman. I love the Irish, by the way. I think in a past life, I was actually an Irishman. So look at this long list. By the way, the list actually goes longer. It's actually like 15 or 16 items. They just look at this list. Mt. Gox, ETH, Silvergate, liquidation, Silvergate. Don't worry about all these. The fact that this person, Mr. Irishman, Jojo, the fact that they could actually make like 15 items here, that's just like, okay, I've got to get long. Have you ever heard someone say that, by the way? Like, oh my God, look how much worry there is. Oh, wow, I've got to get long. You know why? Let me tell you something, friends. This is how you have to think. You have to think like a hungry wolf like me, all right? We are the underdogs. I don't know if you've ever been an underdog in your life when everyone is betting against you, but you succeed. I hope one day you are graced with that. In crypto, we're all underdogs, by the way. Underdogs, what happens is you have like, these are all the heavy stacks against you, okay? All of them. And you are an actual underdog. But you know what? You actually look like a duck. And you are climbing this wall of worry to go up. So let's going to do this, right? So every time, like say 2 months pass and you're not dead, what happens is you, the duck, Mr. Greg, you delete one of these worries. You go, oh, there's something off my shoulders now. I'm not dead yet. Wow, we're winning, right? Look at this. You go, okay, you climb a bit more. And you're like, oh, wow, look at these 2. I can delete 2 of these now. It's getting lighter on me. You said I'd be dead by now, but it's actually been 6 months. I'm still here. I'm still standing on my 2 little duck feet, and my beak is still very strong and orange and nice and pointy, right? And look what happens. As time passes, friends, we climb the wall of worry, and suddenly you're always going to have this overhang. And you're like, oh, Mt. Gox is over. Yeah, you dumped us, but I'm still not dead. Oh, the ETH Shanghai, see what I mean? And suddenly when you make it to the top, there's no more walls of worry. You're literally flying. And now you have friends. You're looking at the doves. You're looking at the doves flying like, yes, freedom. But it's actually not freedom. It's, wait a minute, there's nothing left for us to conquer. Remember, we are underdogs. Yes, we're underdogs, right? We are the underdog, okay? And yes, we look like a duck, but you got to remember, underdogs power up as you slowly knock down the worry. As you defeat one enemy after another, that's when you start to power up. You get momentum. And then you get the most momentum when you just look at you're flying at the top. But that's when you can only get worse from here. You can only get worse, friends. So that's why when you see a long list of this, that's where I'm coming from. So a lot of people just think, you might interpret this as, oh, he's just disregarding all the bad news. He's so naive and stupid. Yes, I am naive. Yes, I am stupid. Yes, I have a peanut brain. But this is how it works, okay? This is how it works. This is why it's so hard. You see, every year there's going to be a new list of 20 things. A new list, new information. Oh my God, another zombie virus. Oh, World War III. Oh, nuke. There's always something new. But, timeless principle. You say, hey, I made it this far. I'm still not dead. My feathers still flap. I'm still wearing mittens. My socks are still fluffy. And you're going to make it. So as slowly as you get one weight off your back, you start to fly. That's what happens, okay? So, all of this, we know the undertone, right? I'll finish with this, friends. This Silicon Valley junk, it doesn't really matter. I'm just telling you right now. So, Silicon Valley was only propped up by the US Fed, okay? And you have all these undertones of all these things. And we're only going to fly because you understand this, all right? The US Fed, they rob poor people, okay? Evil institution. And they actually increase volatility in markets because they use your purchasing power to save the weaklings, the weak banks. So when they print again, our bags will pump, okay? And I have a comment here by somebody, commented on a BitBoy video. He used to work at the bank. He said, wow, their management was so focused on more how woke they are than running a bank, okay? So this is the type of behavior that happens when they keep saving the banks. And that's why when you see me draw a chart of the money supply, and I'm like, wow, you used to have like let's say you're on a boat, right? And there's like 5 sick people. And instead of throwing them off, you keep them. But then, like a month later, you're still on the boat. You're like, wait a minute, there's like 20 sick people now. See how the sick people are going to use more resources. And then maybe by the end of the trip, there's like 50 sick people. You need a whole new boat, man. This is the economy in a nutshell. They're just saving more and more sick people over time instead of making them swallow the medicine, okay? And if you don't listen to this, you're going to be like this person. This coin fashion, okay? Read this with me at the bottom. I bought my first 10 Bitcoin in 2013 at $150, right? He lost half of that on Zeta coin, inflationary garbage coin. And after 3 bull markets, I have less than 5K to my name. Beat that. See, my heart weeps for someone like this. So if you think of selling, you will be this person, okay? You will be this person. So I want you to think of this, friends, all right? I want you to think of this. Look when he went and bought, all right? He went and bought in 2013, $150. There you go. Wow, he literally got, it never came back. Never came back. But I want you to know this, all right? Look at this. He still had to sit through disaster, 85%. And then when it was recovering, he had to sit through another 33%. And then it was recovering up here, he had to sit through another 36%. And then he had to sit through another 85%. So all he remembers is this, okay? He cannot learn that, oh my God, I would have had to sit through like 15 heart attacks, right? This is all he remembers. He remembers when he bought, and he remembers what price it went to. That's it. Do you see these 2 circles? That's why I'm telling you, if you are long with me, if you are long anywhere here, friends, if you're long anywhere here, okay, I'm telling you in the future, and by the way, this is not just Bitcoin, right? It goes for all of our bags. If you're long anywhere here, maybe by 2030, maybe that's it. That's all you're going to remember, friends. If you're not in. If you're not in. I'm hopefully all our crypto bags are much higher. Okay, that's I promise you, you're just going to remember these 2 giant orange testicles floating there, separated by this long distance of 10 years. But guess what? If you sell, you know those 10 years, they're going to feel like seconds, minutes. They're not going to feel like very long at all. All you're going to think of is how you fondled your soap in the shower. Friends, I'm going to continue drinking my hot chocolate. I love you all. Tell your mum you love her, and I'll catch you next time.